Hi guys, it is Christian Chanel, but today I just want to go by Christian because I'm actually going to try to open up and be vulnerable about basically why I went missing off of social media, where have I been, what have I been doing, and just basically kind of giving you guys a life update. So it is February of 2026. And I don't want to say that this is like the start of my year because, I have been up, I have been active, I've been doing things in life. I just haven't necessarily been consumed with social media and whatnot. But I would say last year was a pretty difficult year for me. I feel like I experienced a lot of loss, a lot of betrayal. I experienced people stealing from me. I also I feel like I just experienced the worst of people, to be honest, even in terms of business, just like a lot of people scamming. And even with that, I really don't even understand that because so I sell brow gel. I have like the best brow gel in the whole entire world. Clog it. But like my brow gel is only $19.99 and people scamming for like $19 just really just is like beyond, but that's a different story. Anywho, I also just experienced a lack of reciprocation from people close to me. I feel like people just really let me down. They did not show up for me in ways in which I showed up for them, which I guess you shouldn't necessarily be like keeping a tally of what people do for you. But at the same time, when certain things arise, you're like, that's a little mental note. Like that's different. And then again, just people taking advantage, people really just taking my kindness as a weakness, my kindness for granted. And then of course we have social media and all of the noise and the hate and the crazy comments and just a large group of people committed to misunderstanding me and committed to misunderstanding what I post and why I posted and, like the whole entire nine. So anyways, it was a lot. Oh, and then let me not even get started on effing Hermes and my damn Birkin and how all of last year I was not offered a Birkin, which I know sounds like super materialistic, but to me, it just really like summed up the fucking year. And I was just like, this is just definitely the effing cherry on top. Let's go ahead and get into it, right? When it comes to the particulars of all that I'm talking about, I am a very private person. Like, yes, I'm public, but I'm also a very, very private person. And I also don't really expose people or like expose situations. If it comes to business, yeah, I'm like, if you mess with my money, like, and if I can talk about it, I may say something here and there or whatever. But when it comes to like my interpersonal relationships and like that kind of stuff, I have been very private about that. And I think, I don't want to say to my detriment, because a part of me feels like with me sharing my personal stories, I don't want to say like, what would it matter? But I just at this moment in my life don't feel the need to share certain personal stories and certain personal details about the interworkings of like my relationships or lack thereof with people that you guys don't even know about anyway. So it's like, friends included, like even like my friends, I keep very near and dear to me. And if you kind of like look through my social media, you don't really see me posting about a lot of my, like, even like my sister, like even my closest friends. I really that's just so sacred to me that I don't necessarily post about her or that, or like my girls like that. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yeah, I don't want y'all to fuck with that. Like, no. And then even like with my family, I just started really posting about my family and with my family and just like showing them or kind of talking about them. So if you're here looking for like the tea and like, oh, she's going to talk about X, Y, and Z, I'm not, because that's just not my character. And I am private, and I'm also just not the kind of person that's just going to blow up the spot because me and someone have a falling out, so on and so forth. But what I will say is that I have learned a lot about myself just from last year. And I think that last year was a culmination of all the things that I've already been feeling, but it just all came to a head. And I just really realized that I don't speak up for myself when I should. And I really do internalize a lot of things. And it's like, I mean, I'm a Virgo. So any of my Virgos out there, shout out to you, period. But like, I'm a Virgo and I'm very analytical. I'm very observant and I observe everything. Like, I may not mention it, but just know I saw it, I heard it, I peeped it. And, with that being said, there were like the people that just were not the greatest last year. I knew. Like, I've been known, you know what I mean? But like, I let things slide because I also like to give people the benefit of the doubt. So sometimes I'm like, is it me? Like, am I tripping? Maybe I'm tripping. Let me just see, you know what I mean? And last year showed me, no, bitch, you cannot do that. If you feel something, you see something, you hear something, you run. You just, boop, peace out. Here's the tea that I can give you. Okay. Someone, I wouldn't even say that we were close, but someone that I've known for years. And I mean, years that I've had like in my intimate space, my home, just so on and so forth. I believe, I cannot prove, I have not necessarily proven this, but I believe that they stole from me. And I believe that because the last time I saw, how am I going to say this without saying it? Oh, child. Maybe this is going to get messy. I mean, I don't want to be messy, but I may not even post this, but I'm going to just try to give some detail and then, yeah. Okay. So one of the situations was someone that I've known for years that has been through in my personal space or whatever. I believe that they stole from me. And the reason why I believe that is because I had my gold Amex. It was out and I remember it was out. I remember seeing it and I remember thinking before they came, like, I need to put this away. But I'm like a very messy person, which you probably would not know, but I'm like a very messy person. But I'm like the kind of messy where I know I'm messy, but I also know like where my things are. So anywho, I made a mental note of where it was, and I was like, I need to put it away, but I just didn't end up putting it away. Whatever. They leave. I go for the card, and the card is not there. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's in a bag or whatever. No, it wasn't there. So I don't know. I didn't really want to deal with like getting the card number changed out and like all of that. Da, da, da. So, and I also was just curious, like, all right, let me see if the card will ever be used. Because if the card is used and I know for certain this person took the card. So like some time goes by, maybe this is like around the holidays too, maybe like a week or two goes by, and as sure as water is wet, I get a notification. Your card was used at X grocery store for this amount. Okay. I was disappointed, but I wasn't like irate. I wasn't super upset, especially because the card was being used for groceries. So I'm just like, all right, just being fucking stupid. I'm like, whatever. Like maybe they just like really needed groceries. You know what I mean? Like maybe like it's all good. I still did not cancel the card because I'm like, there's no way they're going to use it again. So it was like out of sight, out of mind. I didn't trip about it. I never confronted them about it, whatever. Maybe a week or so after that goes by. My card was being ran the fuck up. It was being ran up. Like they went, someone that had my card that was not me went all the way to Macy's in Timbuktu, nowhere near where I'm at, nowhere, like it was like far out. They went to Macy's, ran it up. Then I believe either that same night or the day after, they went to a Chinese restaurant that was actually close to me. So as soon as I saw that notification come through, I said, oh yeah, bump this. Like I was hot. I was pissed. I tried to go up there, so on and so forth. Of course, by that time I did cancel my card and, the whole entire nine, but it was just like, it was just the sheer betrayal and audacity, especially when I had been nothing but like nice and kind and generous. I basically have like a mini Sephora here, and I have so much shit. I have so many things that I don't think any singular human being could ever just actually use to completion in the span of a calendar year, let alone 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what I mean? I'm talking makeup, skincare, hair care, clothes, shoes. I'm talking about I am a fucking consumer. Plus, I get sent a lot of things. So, incrementally, as I would see them, it's, oh my God, here, take this. Oh, here, take that. Just again, just super kind, super generous, whatever. So, with that, I'm just like, wow, like I've given you things. Like if you ever needed anything, I would just imagine, just ask. And then on top of that, once I canceled my card, they were hitting me up. Oh my God. I'm like, what the fuck? So I had to block them, obviously. I still never mentioned anything, which I talked to my therapist about it. And the therapist was like, well, do you want to? Do you think you should? And I'm also the kind of person where it's like, I do not like pointless conversations. I don't like aimlessly talking. Like even this is like very weird for me, to be honest. Like that's why I probably don't make YouTube videos like that, because it's just like yap, 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 yap. And it's like, to what avail, right? So when my therapist and I had the conversation, what do you want to do? Do you feel like confronting them would be you standing up for yourself, so on and so forth? My thing was just like, I don't need closure from that, because I'm certain that it was them. And I what could be having a conversation for what? For what? Like either they're going to say, oh yeah, it was me, my bad, or not. And either way it goes, what am I going to gain from that? Or I'm not necessarily going to feel better about that. So, that's that situation. There's another situation that I literally cannot talk about, whatever. There's another situation that's happened that I'm not going to talk about, because it's been so much, guys, but I'm not going to talk about the other situation that really was super trippy. It was so freaking trippy. But I believe that person is trying to make amends, and that person did come to me and they did apologize. They did seem very sincere. So we're going to just put a pin in that. And I told them, I appreciate them apologizing. I appreciate at this point them trying to make it right. So I am going to give them the grace and give them the compassion and give them the understanding, and also be godlike and try to give them another chance to make things right. And we'll see how that goes. So I'll put a pin in that, and we're just going to see how that goes. So then that's just that. Now, in terms of non-reciprocation, like that kind of thing, I don't really have a lot of friends. I don't. I have acquaintances, whatever. And I feel like because of that, and because of how close I am with my family, like my family is just we're all just like very giving, and we're all just like super loving and caring and all that. And so when I do have friends, or when I do have acquaintances that I like, I do try to be, I'm very observant, again, like I said. So if you say to me on a random Tuesday, oh my God, like I really, really love pickles, I fucking guarantee you, bitch, I will find you some bomb ass pickles. Like whether it's just on a random or whether it's like for a holiday, birthday, whatever, like I'm going to remember what it is that you like. And I'm going to also take note of the things that you don't have, or, just like whatever. And I'll try to show up for you in like those kind of ways. And so with some of the people in my life last year, I realized, particularly for like my birthday, holidays, whatever, they did not show up for me the way that I did for them. And I obviously I was like a little bit upset, but then I was also like, well, maybe I'm just being like materialistic. No, I'm not, because my love language is gifts. I love giving gifts, and I also love receiving gifts. I feel like aside from the actual gift itself, I believe that gift giving and gift receiving is truly one of the most symbolic ways that you can show a person that you listen, that you care, that you are attentive, that you are intentional. Like it's just so much more meaningful to me than just like, oh, I spent some money, da da da. So, when and then like, so anyway, that was an experience. So I won't be doing that again. Is there out of fucking 10? What else happened that I can share? And then social media. Social media. social media is such a gift and a curse, right? So like the positive is that there have been so many people on social media that I never knew that I've touched, that I've ran across their feed, that I've inspired or helped in some sort of way, and that do provide positive feedback that really is super motivating and encouraging for me. And that's just so priceless. Like, even when I have been down about the negative, which I am going to talk about, but even when I have been down about that, seeing some of that positivity come through just like really makes my day, and it makes like my entire little spirit light up. So, you have that aspect. And then you have the negative side. You have the negative side where for some reason, negativity feels louder than positivity. And if you're watching this and you say that that's incorrect, you are a liar. I honestly feel like that's why people would believe a lie, and a lie spreads 10 times faster than the truth will ever. So that's just like my 2 cents. I think we're kind of like waking up from that as a society. But I also feel like as a society, we really still love salaciousness and like negativity, so on and so forth. But anywho, what I post is not the most glamorous, particularly when it comes to my body and my skin and my hair and just the things that I do to help me with like my image and what I feel like would help me feel more confident and all of those things. And so when I am vulnerable and when I post about those things, and then to have groups of people just be so evil and just so weird and just say all these crazy things, for a long time, I was telling myself and I was telling everyone around me, oh, I'm fine. It doesn't get to me. Like, I'm so strong. Da, 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 da. Well, strength isn't always, having to put on a brave face or not be sad or not be disappointed or not cry or not anything like that. Sometimes strength is literally honesty and being honest and being like, yeah, this fucking sucks. This sucks. This is not a part of the human experience that I think anyone would enjoy. Waking up and going to bed with a crap ton of notifications of people telling you don't love yourself, or people telling you that you don't believe in God, or you want to be white, or you this or you that. It's very difficult. It's very, very, very difficult. And towards the end of last year, I was like, you know what? I can't do this shit. I am already going through a lot behind closed doors that I can't necessarily talk about, or I can't share, at least publicly. And then the little joy that I do have, which is getting my skin stuff or doing little things for myself. And when I post that, it's something. It's just like, you know what? Bump this. I'm not even interested. It doesn't even matter. What is this all for? It just really like sucks the life out of it. And then again, just more stuff that I can't. Oh my gosh, I feel like there's just so much I can't even talk about. But anyways, it's just so much. It's just so much stuff. So with all this being said, I'm trying to find my normal. I'm trying to figure out what makes me happy. I'm trying to figure out what I like, what I don't like. I'm trying to figure out what just who is Christian aside from all of the craziness and just all of the noise and all of the input and all of this and all of that. So that's what I'm doing. That's where I am currently in life. And I will keep you guys updated. I'm sorry that I feel like this video is kind of a wash. I may or may not post it because a part of me feels like this video is a bit pointless because I can't openly talk about certain things that I am going through and that has really affected me. And I'm pretty sure you guys were watching like, okay, girl, get to it. But sorry. Anyways, I do have some fun things in store for this year, and I will kind of give you guys an update on what I've been doing. I'll put that in a different video. This video is already kind of long. Okay, love you guys.